how delusional and what's wrong with a lot of these people are so-called fans in boxing. At the end of the day, we had what we thought was going to be a historic fight, which at the end of the day, I got my money's worth because the guy that won, I always knew he would win. I had a little bit of doubts that he might would struggle, but I always had this vision that he would win, which I always knew Terrence Crawford would defeat Errol Spence if they won. I mean, if they fought. Excuse me. If they fought. I thought the fight would go exactly how I thought it would go, except for the part I didn't think Terrence Crawford would dominate the way he did and make it look easy in a one-sided like drumming of Errol Spence. But now Errol Spence fun boys, the dudes that were talking all this junk for the past 5 years, and some of them was displaying a lot of false bravado. And now, they can't take their medicine. They putting up fake little innuendos about Homer Simpson and all that stuff like that's supposed to scare people. Like that's supposed to be some kind of scare tactic or something. I mean, if you, like I said, if you want to lose your chin, then you go ahead. Because at the end of the day, they mad because they look stupid for the past 5 years, demeaning, trying to tear down Terrence Crawford, saying a lot of personal stuff. Like, I seen Right Said Fred making excuses. Like Fred don't tell the truth, and he say he always tell the truth. Well, why don't you tell the truth? What really happened between you and Kenny Porter? Why don't you tell the truth about how you tried to sabotage me and you tried to get my credentials taken with Top Rank? Why don't you tell the truth about that? Why don't you tell the truth how you call yourself, which shows how stupid you are, call yourself talking about you gonna put contracts out on people and all that stuff, and you talking all that tough guy talk, you know. So you saw this for years, and then as this fight got closer and closer, when it was first announced that it was gonna be official, then as we got closer to the fight, when we got weeks away, when we got days away, when we got, a day away, then fight night, you started to hear the excuses. They were already in play because at the end of the day, the reality was they were hoping that this fight didn't get made. People from the gate, they saw Terrence Crawford as a threat. And I could tell you right now, they went out of their way to discredit this dude and demean this dude as a person. And then, like I said, you had goofy dudes worrying about what Terrence Crawford do in his personal life. And I'm not going to even go into that. But then some of the insinuations they were trying to say about other people, they were actually exercising that themselves. So you just seen a lot of lame people sitting up here, basically putting out false information, being too emotional and all that stuff when they came to Terrence Crawford because they saw the dude as a true threat to Errol Spence. And just to show you, when somebody constantly talking about this dude outside of boxing. Like I said, these dudes wasn't as confident as they say they was. And especially the dudes that's from the Dallas area, they looking real stupid right now because due to the fact that they boy got manhandled. I'm talking about Errol Spence got the brakes beat off of him. I mean, he got beat up, he got busted up, and you would think these dudes would show some class and be gentlemanlike and just give Terrence Crawford his just due, give him his flower. But no, now they're putting out fake information and innuendos because they can't accept the fact that Errol Spence wasn't as good as Terrence Crawford. And if they fight in a rematch, because you're hearing that Terrence Crawford can't make one 147 anymore. So they're talking about possibly a catch weight at maybe 152. And I'm gonna tell you something. The results is gonna be the same. Errol Spence gonna get beat up again. At the end of the day, all this stuff about Errol Spence is made out of steel, and I know he ain't. See what it was. Errol Spence finally had ran into somebody that was far better than him as far as the skills set go, the ring generalship go. Just Terrence Crawford was just better than Errol Spence from every aspect. Technically sound, better defense. You know, just better at making adjustments, and people can't accept it. So now you got people. So now you got people going around here accusing Terrence Crawford of having loaded gloves. This loaded gloves thing seemed to be the new thing now. Now you got people accusing him of hitting Errol Spence with illegal blows and using loaded gloves. I mean, this is just. I mean, this is just to the point to where, man, it's just pathetic. And this is why. And I'm gonna be really truthful, and I'm gonna say this. This is why, like, I had to distance myself from affiliating with a lot of people from the LDBC, and not just them, just other people. And I'm not just like attacking the LDBC because I'm cool with a lot of them, but then it's just some I ain't cool with. It's a few in particular that I'm not cool with. And I'm going to say this again. Stop lying on me, homeboy. And I'm going to make this very clear. The feeling is mutual. I ain't never liked you. Never. I ain't never liked you. Because you started to show who you really was. And it's just like the hypocrisy with some of these dudes. And I could say what, and like I said before, I could say what I want. Because, like I said, I don't have no boss. I'm going to say this again. I'm my own entity. And a lot of those dudes, in particular with that group, they had an issue with anybody that refused to be a Errol Spence fun boy. And it was a few in particularly that had attitudes that was acting like chicks. They not man enough, got mad at me and saying little slick stuff for no reason. And I mean, if you had a problem with me, you should have been man enough. You had my number and say, hey, man, I got an issue with this. But then at the end of the day, you really don't have no issue with me except for the fact that you just mad that I didn't want to be no Errol Spence apologist and that I had a cool relationship with Team Crawford. As a dude, that's supposed to be what you call a journalist and a reporter. You are supposed to stay objective and you're supposed to try to be cool with everybody. Now, I have tried to be cool with a lot of the fighters, representing the PBC brand, which I like a lot of those PBC fighters, but there's just a few that I don't care for. The issue that I have with the PBC, I've said this before, and it ain't just about me neither. I just don't like the way that they treat the brothers. And I'm sorry that I'm going to continue to call Al Heyman out on this because at the end of the day, that's his organization. And for people to say maybe he don't know what's going on, trust me, Al Heyman knows everything. And he not lifted a finger to stop this stuff. People send him stuff, and he's not lifted a finger to stop people that don't look like him from mistreating people that look like him. So yeah, and it just got to be said, because I'm gonna have to say this again, dude. Ain't nobody scared of you. For real, just stop it. When you saw me at the last event, you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing. So just stop the cap, because I promise you, you ain't gonna run up on me and try to make a move on me, I'm always prepared. But that's neither here or there. I'm not finished. I'm done talking about this. You see me at the next event, just try it. I ain't filming nothing. I ain't saying nothing. This is the last time I'm gonna speak. When you see me, come do something. Come do something. I'm done talking. I'm done sending these innuendos. I ain't saying your name because I ain't giving you no free publicity. But if you see me at the next event, just try it. So let me move on from that because I had to get that off my chest because I'm sick of some of these cornballs on here. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people gonna have to take their medicine. Like I said before, and I'm gonna make this very clear. I got love for people from Texas. That's just real talk. They ain't got nothing to do with Texas. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bay. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. This just got something to do with manhood. Like I said, you had an issue with me, you should have called me like a man. But you don't have no issue. Your issue is you hurting in every way, shape, and form. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of these dudes know that reality started to sink in because as we got closer to this fight, listen, I chose not to pick a winner because if I would have said who was gonna win the fight, which I already knew Terrence Crawford would, I always knew Terrence Crawford would win the fight. I saw it when he fought Jeff Horn. But now, like I said, you got people here, you know, now that Errol Spence got the brakes beat off of him, he got, you know what I'm saying? He got some of that salty fried chicken that some of them Texas restaurants have beat out of him. Now people can't handle it. They've been absent. They want to post old pictures and all that stuff. It don't mean nothing. Your boy got worked. He got worked. The only thing that was, like I said, but just to see people accusing Terrence Crawford of cheating, like I said, this is just an all-time low. They already, like I said, was gonna find a way to discredit Terrence Crawford no matter what, because according to them, the wrong guy won. The wrong guy won in their eyes, so they just can't handle it. I'm gonna just say this again. Some of these dudes, they need to go seek therapy. They need to seek therapy. You know, I may not have Instagram and Twitter, or should I say X now. I got people sending me stuff all the time. My son sends me stuff. Other people send me stuff, so I know what's. And then at the same time, you can go to somebody's Instagram account and you can look and see a couple of posts that they put up without having to even have an Instagram account. So, you can see some stuff without having to. All you got to do is type up their name, see that they have a Twitter or Instagram account. You can see the first couple of posts. So they put up, or the latest video they did put up. So I could check. It's not that difficult. I want you guys to understand something. These dudes wasn't gonna give. These dudes wasn't gonna give Terrence Crawford credit no matter what. And like I said, this is exactly what's wrong with the black community. If Errol Spence had won the fight, I would have gave Errol Spence his credit. Listen, I watched Errol Spence for years. I looked at his style. I looked at Terrence Crawford's style. I knew from the Jeff Horn fight. I saw it in the Jeff Horn fight. Oh, by the way, that dude, I'm looking in my old phone because I got your number saved. If I'm not mistaken, you need to send me my 2 racks. You need to send me my 2 racks. And you know who you is. Send me my 2 racks. I saw it back then when Terrence Crawford fought Jeff Horn. When everybody was talking about this strength advantage and how strong Errol Spence was, and I was watching Terrence Crawford. I say, damn, Terrence Crawford is ragdolling Jeff Horn. He just pushing him back, just pushing him back. I say this dude is strong. And then I said, and then when I seen how he demolished Jeff Horn, I said, I knew right then and there. I said Terrence Crawford can beat Errol Spence, and he will beat Errol Spence. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and I think deep down inside, I think a lot of those dudes knew it. I think Al Heyman knew it, and I thought that the PBC, most of the people behind the scenes, was like, yeah, we might need to avoid this guy. And you started to see the signs too. You started to see the signs of how they would be disrespecting Terrence Crawford, not even acknowledging his WBO belt. You heard rumors that they were considering making the PBC belt to replace the WBO belt, and then, as far as they concerned, that would make whoever they fighter was undisputed. So you just started to see, you just saw all the signs. Al Heyman never believed in Terrence, or he never really wanted to. He never wanted to sign Terrence Crawford, because I think his idea was to try to build Errol Spence as the next Floyd Mayweather. But Errol Spence didn't have the fighting style that Floyd Mayweather had. I always saw how mechanical Errol Spence was. Errol Spence is a jab, jab, 2 jab, try to throw a couple of body shots, try to jump out, reset, try to come with body shot. Then he was trying to throw. Now he did try to develop that overhand, looping left, which Terrence Crawford, he felt it a little bit. It landed like a little bit on his neck. But then once Errol Spence landed it once, he couldn't land it again. Because then what Terrence Crawford would do, he would back up. And Terrence Crawford got that long reach, so he could measure the distance, how much distance he had in between. It just got to the point to where Errol Spence was swinging too wide, and Terrence Crawford was way out of range. And Terrence Crawford fought him. Terrence Crawford fought him in the pocket. Terrence Crawford fought him from distance. Terrence Crawford used angles. Listen, you guys, had Terrence Crawford would have fought orthodox after breaking Errol Spence down, if Terrence Crawford would have switched to probably orthodox, and he fought southpaw pretty much the whole fight, he probably would have knocked Errol Spence out like 4 rounds. Errol Spence was gonna get seriously hurt. Errol Spence took a lot of damage. He got beat up. He got battered. And like I said, to see this pathetic display of just, you know what I'm saying, uh, of this trying to demean the dude's victory. And this is coming from people that look like me. This is why this is why our community is at such such a disadvantage, because of other people. But to see people accusing this man of cheating because they just can't stand the fact that Errol Spence got beat from pillar to post, that just says a lot about them. Just says a lot. I always knew that Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence if they fought. I didn't think it would be as easy as it would be. I thought that Errol Spence would have his moments in the fight, but damn, I thought he might even have a moment in the fight where he may even hurt Terrence Crawford. But I thought Terrence Crawford would have enough to prevail. And I always had Terrence Crawford stopping Errol Spence if they fought. I always did. I kind of, when I saw it, it's kind of funny behind the scenes. I picked Terrence Crawford to win that fight by stoppage. Just people behind the scene. I told Sean from Fight Hype. I told Sean, and even before the fight was signed, that I just knew Terrence Crawford would win the fight. And you have to look at something. You have to look at something. This is just real talk. Yeah, what's up, East Oakland? You have to understand something. I really look at fighters and I really try to match up styles and have this vision on how it would turn out. Like I said, I just always thought that Terrence Crawford would be the better fighter. I just thought that his style was suited for, Errol Spence's style was suited for Terrence Crawford. And he made Terrence Crawford look like a legend. I just think people thought that it was going to be a more competitive fight, and it just wasn't. I got my money's worth. But now, like I said, you're seeing these people that just can't accept the fact that their guy didn't win. Like I said before, if Terrence Crawford would have defeated, been defeated by Earl Spence, I would have came right on here and said, hey, Earl Spence, he beat Terrence Crawford. And that's it. That's all. People have to understand styles make fights. And then you listen to Troy King. Listen to the interview I did with Troy King. Listen to the second interview I did with Troy King. It's lengthy. It's over an hour. But Troy broke down basically the triangle theory with opposing fights. Terrence Crawford, Kell Brooks, Sean Porter fighting each other, and how basically Terrence Crawford, how he was able to defeat all those dudes. Keep in mind, Terrence Crawford stopped all of them. He stopped all of them. And statistically, if you look at the statistics, Errol Spence, the guy that said Terrence Crawford hadn't fought anybody, statistically wise, Errol Spence was Terrence Crawford's easiest fight. He was his easiest fight. And I think that's why some of these dudes just can't handle it, because they had put so much stock into backing Errol Spence and trying to play this hero bad guy. Errol Spence ain't no, and I'm just gonna say this, Errol Spence ain't no hero. He was never no hero. Because at the end of the day, Errol Spence wasn't too concerned about his boxing career, because at the end of the day, they were just things that Errol Spence what was doing that he kind of didn't have no business doing. Listen, I understand. I don't really want to dig too deep into his personal life, because I tried to stay away from that kind of stuff. But it's documented of some of Errol Spence's activities outside of boxing. So that's the thing. And we all know what happened with the car crash. We know what happened behind the scenes with the car crash, what led into the car crash. We all know what happened with that little dude. We already know what's up with that. But then again, at the end of the day, somebody removed him from the planet. Which, by the way, if he, you know what I'm saying? By the way, if he wouldn't have got deleted, he was going to end up behind bars, because this dude kept making songs about what he was doing in the streets. I mean, some of these dudes they just tell on themselves. So, in the grand scheme of things, just seeing how pathetic that these dudes are, accusing this man of, you know, cheating. You just gotta be like, man, come on, man, like for real. What else is new? I mean, y'all just go out of y'all way to discredit Terrence Crawford. Y'all cannot accept the fact that that man beat Errol Spence. He beat the man fair and square. I don't want to hear no stuff about weight drain because Terrence Crawford. Uh, Rumor has it that Terrence Crawford is struggling to make 147. He grew into that frame. So my question is, and I'm gonna say this to the Spence fans: y'all insisted that that man hadn't fought nobody. Y'all went down his list of resumes, and the streak continues. So, due to the fact that he hasn't fought anybody and he beat the hell out of Errol Spence, so I guess Errol Spence is just another nobody, right? According to y'all, he just another nobody. I don't even have to get animated because I'm in a calm state of mind. I feel good about what I'm saying. I'm just like it's just like if it ain't one thing, it's another. What's gonna be the next excuse? But I told y'all I predicted this. I also said that people wasn't gonna be happy no matter who wins because of all the stuff that happened over the past few years. But yeah, man, shame on these people, man, that's sitting up here accusing Terrence Crawford of cheating. Because remember, according to y'all, nothing gets past the commission. And Terrence Crawford wraps his own hands. Um, they had somebody in there examining his hand wraps and everything. So I don't know what happened with his gloves, whatever the case may be. Um, I just find it funny, like I said before, that you got people that ain't never boxed before in their life, but they know all this stuff about gloves and everything. And I have to admit, depending on what type of gloves you use, they can, you know what I'm saying, moisten up sometimes from the sweat. Depends on what kind of cotton you got in the gloves, what type of all that stuff. So it's just a lot of different things that go into. That's why people have types of gloves they like to use. You can use Reyes, Everlast. You can use them other ones. I forgot what them. You can use the Venom. You can use the Venom gloves. So just saying, it's just getting to the point to where you guys are just looking real pathetic, and it has to stop. You guys looking real bad out here. But anyway, I just wanted to get that across. Y'all need to knock this stuff off, man. Terrence Crawford didn't have no damn loaded gloves, and he wasn't hitting Errol Spence illegally. Okay, the only thing that should have been, the only thing that should be discussed is why did Derek James send Spence back out there after like the seventh round? Errol Spence was clearly done. So there you have it. That's the only controversy, that James should have stopped the fight instead of leaving it to Harvey Dock because Errol Spence was about to get carried out on a stretcher. He was about to get hurt real bad. So there you have it. This your boy Town. I'm out.